From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review. Lux Aeterna. I come to this review leaking trepidation. So it goes like this. When the deity who is responsible for all the fairness, equity and general homo sapien bonhomie in this world was distributing skills and talent, I was around some celestial corner somewhere trying to work out how to open a child-proof bottle because I like the taste of chewable aspirin for kids. Some of my fellow apes have been endowed with great acuity, others with razor-sharp wit and erudition, and others were touched by the divine E.T. glowing finger TM, and that gifted them the joy to embark on vivid flights of creative fancy. Me, I got some extra anger, stubby little fingers, and a propensity for self-pity. The fact that I got out of the maternity ward without throwing myself down the steps or banging my head on the placenta on the way out and damaging myself permanently is frankly a miracle. Still, this game presented me with the opportunity of foo-tooing it up, pardon my French, even more than I usually do. Because this time, I'm graciously treading into a world I rarely venture into, and that is the world of the solo game. I got into board games as a way to meet people without the necessity of getting blind drunk. That worked out well. And so solo games were never really on my radar. Though I've dipped my toe in over the years, I've tried Friday and Finished and Arkham Noir, and while I saw the beauty in them, they were never really for me. I tend to use my alone time to damage my eyesight. That's why, when I decided to review Lux Aeterna from Tony Boydell and Surprise Games, I was a little apprehensive. But after playing it, I realised that solo or not, this is a game. And I can use the same ham-fistedness that I use in my analysis of multiplayer games for solo games. Because, fundamentally, they are games, and so can be appraised as games. And this is a game that's awfully good. The single player of Lux Aeterna takes on the role of the single occupant of a starship that's critically damaged and being dragged towards a black hole. All of your systems are offline, and you have to save the ship before being pulled into the singularity. This is done by drawing cards and allocating them to functions that will cause further damage to your systems, give you actions that greatly benefit you, and determine the velocity at which you're being dragged towards infinite elongation. A timer is set, and you have this limited time to either run through the deck, or have 3 or more of the 6 systems operational, with none under repair. If you hit the black hole, or run out of time, or 4 of your systems fail, you lose. And I do a lot. Lux Aeterna employs the shit, everything is going wrong method to employ tension, and it does it beautifully. It's a game of whack-a-mole, in which when you have a handle on one problem, another pops up to test your mettle. You don't have time to breathe in this game, and in a longer game this could become tiresome. But this game lasts no longer than 15 minutes, and it's stress that is utterly exhilarating. This kind of stress in a game is nothing, though, without decisions, and thankfully, Lux Aeterna is packed with them. The actions that the cards afford you are powerful without feeling broken, and a timely deployment of them makes you feel genuinely clever. You start the game with a cache that allows you to store cards for later it may be destroyed at some point. And with this simple mechanic, strategy is elegantly woven into a game of tactical quick thinking. The health of systems are tracked on D6s. Go above a 6 and the system is operational, below 1 and it fails. When a system fails or bursts into life, they offer benefits or penalties, and balancing these throughout the game is a crunchy decision, especially as the clock is constantly berating you. In the event phase of the game, systems will be damaged, and choosing which to damage can be crucial in success, and it's here that my only niggle with the game comes in. You win the game by having 3 operational systems and none under repair, which means you'll use the event phase to deliberately crash systems. This feels gamey, and there is a definite thematic disconnect there. But thematic quibbles aside, deciding which system to jettison and when is the crux of this game, and it's always agonising. Now, I rarely talk about these things because it's one of the many areas that I know nothing about. but I can't avoid mentioning the simply astonishing art and graphic design from board game debutante Alex Lee. This is easily the most visually arresting game I've seen this year. The art wonderfully captures the Kubrickian solitude and silence of deep space, and the choice of typeface and design of the cards plunge you into the Solaris world of the 70s conception of what the future would look like. Great art and graphic design in games should bolster play, but also evoke theme, and this is done in Lux Aeterna faultlessly. And if the Graph Ludo people don't shower this game in awards, there's simply no justice in the world. To conclude, I would say that you shouldn't fall into the trap of judging Lux Aeterna as a solo game. Don't base your desire to try it on that narrow appraisal. Judge Lux Aeterna as a game. I have, and looking at it as I would look at any other game, I've come to the decision that you won't find a more thrilling and tense 15 minutes all year. And, if you'll forgive me for being crass, as it's Christmas, it would be remiss of me not to point out that it fits snugly into a stocking. This review was made possible by the contributions of my patrons. You can become one too at patreon.com/5G4D. Thank you for listening.